So a reminder that you can find all of the donation incentives for everything the entire week at gamesdonequick.com/tracker/bids/10. You can just find a full list of everything there. There's some upcoming ones. The soonest ones that haven't been met yet are for Resident Evil 2 and Psychonauts. But you can find everything for the entire week, and there's no earliest time you can donate. So if you're interested in something at the end of the week, you can donate for that now. You can time that whenever you want.
Okay.
This is one. It doesn't have the pop filter.
The what? Well, I'm
Doesn't have this.
figure out if there's a hookup for it. I don't see a hookup.
Looks like all of them.
Yeah, there's no hookup for this one.
There's no clip.
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
I don't know why it does this sometimes.
You got it? Maybe.
I can
Okay.
improvise.
I got it.
Just sound off 1, 2, 3, 4. Say something.
Test.
Yeah.
Test.
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 Okay, we're all good.
All right, I'm ready whenever. So,
Good luck.
all right, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so this is Mystical Ninja Starring Goemon. It's a pretty cool N64 like action adventure game that's very similar to Ocarina of Time in a lot of aspects. And it's a criminally underrated game because not a lot of people know about it, and it's, in my opinion, a very, very good game. So right off the bat, we're gonna do a pretty big skip. So you're supposed to go to Mount Fuji to get a chain pipe, and that chain pipe will allow you to cross large gaps. But since this is a speedrun, we don't want to get that chain pipe. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna jump into this sign, and because we're in this sign, the game, when we jump, the game doesn't know where to put us. So it's like, all right, well, I'm just gonna put you on the nearest floor, and when you jump, the nearest floor is the ceiling. So the game just boosts you up to the ceiling, and we'll be seeing that later on. But that's one part of chain pipe skip. So this is a really big skip that we're doing to skip one weapon.
This is only a Japanese only skip. This isn't possible on the North American version.
There's actually 2 skips in this game that are immensely doable. The other one that you're not going to see probably.
Yeah. Japanese version is the best version for this game because it has something called map glitch, and we'll be seeing that later. But first off, you might notice that I'm breaking some pots for some money, and we're gonna need about 1150 Rio, so there's gonna be a little bit of downtime here, but it goes by really quickly, so don't worry.
You need a certain amount of money to progress the game story-wise, so...
You need 1100 and then a bit extra for Rio hovering and Rio fireballs, which we'll be seeing much later.
All right, well, with this downtime, I'm gonna give a very special shout out to a certain Billy Harrington of Nico video fame. He's been a good inspiration to all of us as speedrunners.
I highly recommend following his Twitter account.
Yeah, he's really
He's a very inspirational man.
very inspirational. He's kept us going. He told us that there's nothing that we can't swallow. Just want to say that hopefully one day we can all find a little bit of Billy in all of us.
When is Billy?
Alright, so we're about halfway done here. This goes by really quickly. It should only take about 2 minutes.
Also,
And-
shout out to our boys back home.
Once we're done with Rio farming, we never need to get any more Rio unless I'm bad and I waste a lot of it. But I'm gonna play it safe and I'm gonna do an extra room. So instead of getting 1150, which is what a optimal speedrun would do, I'm gonna get around 1200 just so I have a lot of wiggle room.
There's a cool trick in the game where you can extend your jump by throwing Ryu. So
And we'll
that's why
be
it
seeing
gets
that.
extra.
Yeah, immediately after this is over, we'll be seeing that trick. It allows us, it's also a part of chain pipe skip. It allows us to cross pretty large gaps. that we otherwise would not be able to. So only, I think, 2 more rooms if my math is good. Okay, maybe 3 more rooms, and then we'll be on our way.
The game does get a lot more interesting.
Yeah,
The bosses in this game are ridiculous, to say the least.
Once we're out of this Rio farming section, Oedo Castle is a really interesting dungeon. And after that, there's kind of a little lull, but once we get Mini Abysmaru, the power-up, the game really picks up.
Well, the sad part about this is that in Japanese, you don't get a lot of the humor that the game tries to portray.
This game has legitimately, like, entertaining writing. One of the few games that actually make me laugh.
You will know when to laugh though, because there are laugh tracks.
Yes, there is a laugh track.
So laugh when they're laughing.
Alright. Alright, 1195 is more than enough, so that's Rio farming. And we never have to do that again. So here's Rio hovering. For some reason, when you throw Rio in the air, it extends your jump, or it makes you hover a little bit, but gravity still applies, so it pulls you down. So you can't, you know, float across gaps, but you can kind of like slowly, you can slow your descend, and that allows us to cross some gaps that we would not be able to.
And that's kind of a death warp, but you never really die when you fall in pits. It only takes half a heart.
That would have been sick. Oh well. That was a key room. We just needed to kill all the enemies as fast as possible to get the key. And there aren't very many of those. There's like 4 of them in the entire run. And that's probably the most complex one. And it's not even that complex. So, an interesting thing about these turtles coming up here, or whatever they are, sand crabs, I don't know, is that you might notice that I kind of stalled there, because for whatever reason in this game, when you jump on a slope, you lose all forward momentum. So you might be seeing that later on in a certain few sections. It's just an annoyance with the game engine. Now in here I need to kill 5 enemies. Usually people don't know that you can kill those dolls and they count as enemies. Wow, are you really serious right now? Okay, that wasn't supposed to happen because I messed up, but whatever. But people don't know that the dolls count towards the enemy count. So if you kill those 2 dolls and then kill 3 of the floor panels, the key will spawn, and you can just keep holding forward. Usually people just kill the 5 floor panels and they wonder like if it's random or not, when really all you need to do is kill 5 enemies. Here's another key room. It's pretty straightforward. And that was perfect. I'm gonna get up here and throw this Rio so that it kills the thing walking towards me, and I immediately pick up the key. And, yeah, not much to say. We're gonna be heading up to the next level soon.
Thank you to the Josh
The
native.
game shares a lot with like other 3D games like Legend of Zelda, which are dungeon-based games where you have puzzles and boss and other fight rooms.
Yeah, it also shares with the Castlevania 64 games in that its camera is absolutely terrible.
We'll be seeing more of that later on.
Yeah.
So sometimes to adjust the camera, you use the R button and the C buttons on the N64 pad. And sometimes when you adjust the camera left or right, it'll just do a 360 for no reason. Like it might do it here. Oh no, it won't, because it's gonna clip out of the wall. Which, you know, totally normal. It might do it here though. At any point when I adjust the camera to the right or left, it can 360. And that's really obnoxious. Alright, now coming up is the beef, like the beefy part of chain pipe skip. This is, when people learn this game, this is where they get halted, because the upcoming trick is pretty tricky, and a lot of people have trouble with it. That's, in my opinion, harder than the actual skip, but I got it first try, so that's cool. But yeah, here we go. I'm just gonna need to focus a little bit here. There we go, first try. So that's a really precise damage boost, and I use a setup there to make sure it is absolutely perfect. That's the Japanese only skip, because for some reason in the Japanese version, when you jump into a corner, you get slightly more height. So if you tried that on the American version, even if you had impeccable timing and perfect inputs, you would never make it up just because the height wouldn't be there. And that's just a series of very, very precise inputs and manipulating the enemy on the right to boost you up to the ledge. And that's the main part of chain pipe skip. After that, you don't really need any more of the chain pipe, because we'll have many Abysmaru slides, and we'll get to that later. But yeah, that's Oedo Castle. Just one more room left, and then we get to the cutscenes before the boss. which I can hopefully skip. I've had pretty bad luck with it in practice. Alright, so I'm gonna try and do it first, and if I get it, then that's cool. Alright, cool, I got it. So, if you zoom in to like the first person mode, and then zoom out while you're on the elevator, you gain control and can move during this cutscene. So I'm supposed to be on that elevator just watching him. And if I were a good player, I'd be able to enter the boss room, but I'm lost right now, so I have no idea where I am. And the camera's gonna freak out a little bit here. So it's gonna go under the arena and then reappear right beneath or behind me. And this is a first boss, Congo. He's actually a pretty interesting boss. He may not look very interesting to fight, but in a speedrun he's actually he's a really tricky boss. Mostly because his hitbox is atrocious. But yeah, basically you just need to hit him on the chin 5 times, but only when he's not flashing. So optimally you just want to continuously hit him so that as soon as he stops flashing you immediately hit him again. But right here I'm going to do more of some timed hits instead of just spamming, so that I hopefully skip a phase. No, I'm probably not going to. Yeah. As you can see, I'm getting stuck on him despite not being anywhere near like the base of him. And that's just because Congo's hitbox is just absolutely atrocious. So yeah, you only need to hit him 5 times when he's not flashing, and I'm very bad at that, as you can see. But that's fine, because this is actually a pretty tricky boss. Controlling Goemon while he's off camera and behind the boss takes a lot of getting used to, mostly because the hitbox is nothing like what it seems it is. And you obviously don't want to hit the laser, because then you get damaged and you can't attack him. This might be it. Maybe. Oh well. Nope, never mind. So optimally, you would never have him go into that fire breathing phase. Or no, you'd never have him go into another laser phase. Because you can skip the laser startup, and that saves time because you can't hit him for like the 5 seconds that he starts using the laser. So an optimal Congo fight would just be nothing but him breathing fire. And I think this is the last phase. I could be wrong though. I think I'm finally gonna get the phase skip on the last phase. Yeah, that was a phase skip, but yeah, that's Congo. A pretty straightforward boss. Now we're gonna get the first miracle item, and a quick little tidbit is that that door over there opens randomly. Sometimes it opens immediately, which it didn't, and sometimes it takes a little while of running into it, and it's just completely random. And another little tidbit is I jumped into the cutscene trigger here so that usually Goemon slows down a little bit before he walks into this cutscene, but if you jump right on the cutscene trigger, you'll skip that like little initial movement slow. And here's just me talking to the king or whatever. He's gonna give me a pass so that I can go on my merry way. And there are dialogue options in this game, all in Japanese. It took me a little while to figure out what I actually had to do, because I don't read Japanese. But yeah, it's gonna ask us to save here, and I am going to save. Usually in a speedrun you wouldn't save, but for safety's sake, because I don't want to freak anyone out, but my game has randomly frozen on me before. So in the name of safety, I'm just gonna be saving at every opportunity. But hopefully that will not be an issue. It probably won't. It's like a 1 in 100 thing. But yeah, coming up is the first implementation of map glitch. So basically when you hold C right upon entering a loading zone, it despawns everything in the area except for the walls and like geometry. So right now there's supposed to be water here, and it's gonna respawn right there, and now I'm despawning the water again.
And this is Japanese only.
Yes, this is Japanese only, and it's a
Makes
major.
it impossible in the Japanese.
However, I can't map glitch here because on certain maps, if you map glitch, it'll soft lock the game when you leave the area. So it's a really weird glitch, and we'll be using it to skip a boss fight later on. Well, coming up actually really soon. So if you have any donations you need to read, now would be a great time.
So thank you to the Joshinator for your $10 donation. A second donation of several, hopefully. Just got to donate again for Mystical Ninja. Rented this at least a dozen times for Blockbuster growing up, but never got around to beating it, sadly. So happy to see it run this year. Keep on keeping on with all the good work. Thank you to Deku King Guy for your $15 donation. This was my favorite game growing up. I'm happy to see I'm not the only one who grew up loving this more than anything else. Hope the run goes well.
Alright, here I'm going to use map glitch just to save frames. This area is really laggy. I'll be using it in another area, and I'll actually example. I'll show you how much time it saves just by despawning everything. That's coming up later. So here's one of the few areas with absolutely no music. I don't know why. I guess it's for atmosphere. In a speedrun, I would be pretty low on Rio right now, and good luck would be getting Rio from these dolls, which I did, but I don't really need it. So here's the longest map glitch in the game, and if I drop it at a wrong time, it's going to be bad. It's not going to be terrible, it's just going to lose me like 5 minutes, but I'd rather not do that. So right now I'm holding C right, and my middle finger's on C right, and I'm using my pointer finger to hit A and B. I shouldn't have to hit B, but...
What this skips is a cutscene, and then you can do this on the American version, although it requires
3
like
frame
how many
perfect?
frame
Yeah,
perfect?
3 frame perfect jumps, which no one has done, obviously, because it's silly. But yeah, I'm still holding C right, so everything is despawned. And when I say everything, I mean everything, even the triggers for cutscenes. So we're just gonna walk right past this boss.
Even the fog effect is despawned.
Yeah, normally there's a cutscene. The old man, I never explained the story, I'm so sorry. The story for this game is that you're in Japan having, you know, some fun times with your friend Abismaru, when all of a sudden some Europeans come in and they want to turn Japan into a glorious stage. So they send down their robots and try to convert everyone to the wonders of, I guess, stage music. And that's why everything we fight in this game is kind of a robot, because they don't want to have us kill people. But yeah,
They call you Hernandez, right?
Yeah, they call you Fernandez.
Fernando?
Yeah.
Fernandez.
It's just a running joke, and I just walked past the first boss. It's too late,
I
Naglaria.
think it's an unfortunate
It's too
skip,
late.
But
You'll see more
You will see
impact.
plenty of impact later. Don't worry.
the color changes here, and
Actually, the audience can choose which dungeon I do. If you're familiar with the game, I can do, after the first dungeon, I can do either dungeon, either the next dungeons first, and it's literally the exact same frame count. There's no difference in it whatsoever. So I can either go to the third dungeon or the second dungeon, depending on what people care for. Or the fourth dungeon, I'm sorry. So I don't care either way. Alright, Gourmet Submarine first.
Gourmet submarine.
go to the fourth.
I was more of a ghost castle.
Yeah, Ghost Toys Castle is pretty difficult.
Yeah.
So you usually
I think
get it away at
I would
the
like to go
beginning.
with Ghost Toys Castle first, because it's the hardest dungeon in the game.
I think we just want to see impact sooner.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen Impact, has that incentive been met? The
Yes,
singing?
Yes, it
yes,
has.
yes.
Has the glitch showcase been met as
I
well?
believe so.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna give you a preview of the Impact theme. We're not gonna sing it the first time, but the second time we will, just so you know what you're getting into. But yeah, here's probably the slowest part of the game. So we arrive at Zazen Town, which is the place we're at right now, and we need to get past this dude who's a real jerk.
Achilles.
Yeah, I guess Japanese Achilles. His name is actually Benkai, and he blocks his path. And if we could skip Benkai, if we could just get behind him somehow, we actually can get behind him with map glitch, but as I said before, on certain maps, it freezes the game. So on that map, that is one example of the game freezing. So you can get behind Benkai, you can enter the loading zone, but the game will freeze.
And fun fact, this town's music is actually the same as the first town, just like half time and only on like a
Oh.
weird instrument.
I didn't know that.
Didn't know that either. There's actually a way to skip Benkei with the use
yeah.
of a trick called the Makori Slash. It lets you fly at very high speeds after clipping through something and swinging your weapon. The Makori Slash is named because Makori literally translates to like boner inducing, and the person who found it, Match, who found a lot of things in this game, is
Yeah.
an incredible runner of this. He's a pretty good sense of humor, and he's Japanese, so you know, it makes sense.
Yeah, shout outs to Match and Zar, Z-A-R. They did the bulwark of the work on this game. And Serpin, I think, Z-Lamp is on Twitch. He found the mini Abismaru slide, which is probably the biggest skip in the
Yeah,
game.
so all the characters in the game have a special ability. Goemon's a special ability, what you skipped, is the chain pipe, essentially.
No. His special ability is to go Super Saiyan, literally. His hair turns yellow and
The
everything.
spiky yellow hair.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's obsoleted with the map glitch.
Yeah, which is a
You
shame.
only need it once, I think.
Abesaro's
twice.
special ability is that he breaks the game in half.
Yeah.
Abismaru, while he seems like the least competent character, is an absolute beast and will be tearing this game apart.
And then Yai can swim, and then
She's a mermaid.
Yeah, and Sasuke advances the story.
Yeah, he can jump.
He also has like
That's his power, is he advances
jetpack or
the...
something.
Yeah, he has a
Yeah,
jetpack.
so if you're playing 100%, which is essentially collect all the...
Collect all everything on the pause screen, basically.
Not all all collectibles.
Don't listen to Naglaria. You probably can't hear him, and that's for the best.
100%, but not including Elephant, Narrow, and everything.
Well, just like Ocarina of Time. You
Yeah,
said
yeah.
that multiple times this
You
run.
don't actually collect everything in the 100% all collectible stuff. It's, I don't know, the community's weird.
That was not much of one.
The community's like mostly here.
All right, I don't think this is time or place for discussing Ocarina categories. But I didn't say anything about the fish. This fishing section is really random. The red fish are the worst, specifically on the second screen, I think it is.
You need 8 red fish?
Yeah, the 8 red fish. They are
3
the
blue,
worst.
5 yellow, 8 red.
Yep, 3 blue, 5 yellow, 8 red.
And if you get it wrong one, I forget what happens.
Nothing. It just says wrong fish.
Yeah.
And you keep going. It plays a pretty nice sound effect. But yeah, that was fishing, and now this chick, I think, is like, good job, here's a log. And we get a log.
That's-
Guy or girl? Let the donators decide.
All right, it's a guy. His
I
part of
think
the
it's a guy,
plot
yeah.
Is like the women around the city are actually like, wow, he's a really good-looking
Mm-hmm.
guy. It's a shame he's a huge dick.
All right, so now that we have a log, we can defeat Benkai and surpass him.
We get a tutorial on how to defeat him with a log.
Yes. Hit B.
It rolls downstairs, although
You
they're
had to
in
get in a
pairs.
barrel? Oh, no.
It's log. No?
That was really hard.
Yeah, it's big, it's heavy, it's wood.
Oh, and actually, all those green dialogue boxes with the elephant dude on the left, that's actually the narrator speaking.
Yeah, this plays out like a Broadway musical.
Yeah.
What's the laugh track for? Like, can you explain the jokes?
The last time I read the English dialogue of this game, I was like
The only-
7. So
Yeah, the only one I know is that they call him a different name, and there's some other weird ones.
it's a running joke.
I think they were explaining there the story of Achilles and how this was the story of Achilles. And the laugh track was like, I don't think that's right.
Oh yeah. I do remember that. I remember playing that.
All right, this place has some pretty sick music.
Are you gonna do like the coin drops thing here?
So here's
Oh,
the
yeah.
biggest Rio hover in the game. It saves maybe like 2 seconds, if that.
Yeah, if you land normally from this high, you like have a few frames where you just like land and you have to like.
You have a
do
little landing animation, yeah.
Sometimes it happens randomly and it wastes time, and it's very frustrating when
Yes,
that
it is
happens.
extremely frustrating.
As well, right?
No, you don't.
You just sit there for like a second and a half, just watching your time drain away.
It's awful.
All right,
Yeah.
so we're gonna push this turtle, and if you remember how I said I map glitch sometimes to save frames just off lag, this is the main area where that happens. So I'm gonna let map glitch go like halfway through. So you see how smooth it is, right? You know, pretty standard N64 frame rate, like 24 frames. So we're gonna pan the camera, and I'm gonna let go of map glitch, and you notice the frame rate tank.
It's like Ocarina
Oh,
of Time.
that brings me back.
So in 100%,
Yeah, frame perfect.
in 100%, you actually have to let go of map glitch there to get a fortune doll on the map. Because when you map glitch, it despawns fortune dolls. And you can actually make them disappear from the game entirely by, if you let go of map glitch while you're directly on top of a doll, the game sometimes just won't register it and it'll disappear and forever. It's pretty cool. So this is probably the low light of the run. I just walk along a dragon and
Yeah.
fight a terrible boss.
This is a really cool looking boss.
Yeah,
but
but
it's extremely
it's
boring.
Very bad, so
It's just walk forward and
this would be a great time for donations
I don't know,
as
I
well.
fall off this
Oh,
boss
okay. Actually, hold on. There is a way to skip this cutscene. It's kind of weird how it's done. It's only doable in like a second run. If you do one full run, reset, and then play it again, this cutscene will be skipped because I guess there's a flag that gets set to say that this cutscene has been watched. Like if you fall off the edge, the flag has already been set, so you don't have to watch the cutscene again. And the flag just never gets cleared, so you just don't have to watch it on a second playthrough. That's not like speedrun legal, but it's just kind of interesting.
But yeah, go ahead and read some donations off.
Thank you to Uri for your $50 donation. Can't wait to hear your beautiful singing voice. Dash, praise the sun. Thank you to Anonymous for your $5 donation. And Heron Bago for your $5 donation. And Fubar for your $10 donation.
So we do that 6 more times, and that's the fight. Or 5 more times, technically. It's a really interesting fight.
Spin shot.
Thank you to Kadesh for your $10 donation. Thank you to Cookie14 for your $10 donation.
Still going.
So how's it going, Pykn?
It's going well. Kind of
Good.
tired, but you know, I'm having fun.
Having fun.
Yeah, SGDQ's pretty cool.
You could make this fight interesting with using the pipe instead of the reed.
Nah. Yeah. Money
Money is
hurts,
a valuable
man.
weapon in this game.
Have you ever had a coin thrown at you?
Guilt toss.
Yeah, can you suplex that?
So an interesting little thing about that boss is that, you know, in Nintendo games, it's like, how many hits does it take to kill a boss? Well, 3 or 5. That boss takes 6. For some reason. Every other boss is like a standard, like, you know, 3 or 5 boss, but that guy takes 6 hits.
He's just 2, 3-hit bosses stacked on top of one another.
There were a bunch of kidnapped kids in there, right?
Yeah.
Maybe there were 6 of them, and you had to kill each one of them.
That kid's fine.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Well, that was the dragon.
Yeah, it's a dragon.
Yeah, this thing, I don't know if it's a boy or girl, is a dragon.
Let the donators decide.
This game has a thing with
another
androgynous people.
special ability. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Yae is very important, even though she's used for about 5 minutes. She has the ability to teleport us around the map, which is obviously very useful, because this area you cannot get to unless you teleport to. There's no walkable destination, or like any road leading to this area. You have to teleport here. And that's initially accomplished by just defeating the dragon. You can notice we're in a different area now. All the gates and stuff.
Actually, Abyssu can, he could also teleport, but they decide that Abysmaru is not reliable and give the flute to Yae instead.
I love how we've had like 4 different pronunciations of Yae.
Yeah.
For those unaware, it's the chick in the purple. And like we've butchered her name, I think 5 times now.
I've heard people pronounce Goemon differently.
I say Goemon just because that's how I say it. I know it's Goemon, but I say Goemon.
It's Goemon. Like Pokemon?
First time I've heard it, so that's how I always pronounce
No, there's no accent on the E.
I call him
Whatever,
Goemon.
buddy.
Goemon.
Alright, so we need to go in here to get a warp point, and then we immediately exit
Goemonitarian.
so that we can go up the mountain and get some Fire Rio. The Fire Rio it's useful in a quick kill and for 1 room.
Up, up. My favorite sound effect is where?
Oh yeah.
When Abysmir transforms.
Where?
You'll be hearing a lot of that if
Oh,
Pykn
yeah.
screws up.
Yeah, but I'm a scrub and I don't like the map glitch here. I said to Nagleria, if I miss a world record by 1/10 of a second, which is probably what it saves.
You actually got hit there, so it's a little more than a 10th minute.
Yeah, but okay, well
He's
map
already
glitch actually
behind.
would have done
Come
that.
on. It doesn't matter.
I have a little audio cue here. Yeah, so I'm like a second behind. Thanks, Nagleria. Yeah, this is just optimized movement. Like, you don't want to touch the stairs at all, like I just did there. You just want to continuously be hopping up them. And that was pretty decent. And hopefully I can kill this. This thing, okay, well, never mind. I was going to say it almost always drops Rio for me, but not today. So we pay our sacrifices to the money god, and he's going to give us some Fire Rio, which I said before is only useful in 1 room, story-wise, but in a speedrun is useful in 2 places. But we won't be seeing that because it can soft-lock the game, and I'd rather not do that. And I'll talk about that when we get there. So we're going to switch to Yae and have her play the flute. And I like to fiddle with the camera while we do this.
You know, I don't think I actually. Have we done a roll call?
I don't think we've done a roll call now. I'm Pykn, obviously. Go from there.
I'm Yoshichi.
I'm Zach SK.
I'm Doyson.
And we're the Goemon crew.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go, go, go. Dash, dash, dash.
Alright, so the reason I re-entered that town is so I could get this warp point. It saves me the trouble of having to go back down the mountain. And it actually puts me at a more optimal position. It puts me right next to the door I need to be next to.
Helps you from not having to figure out how to get through town, too.
That's a pretty confusing town as well. I forget the name of it, like Pokefolk Village, I think?
Mr. Pokelope?
Yeah, that was actually where the kids were kidnapped from.
Oh, yeah.
And actually in that town, there was a kid who was wearing a fake mustache to avoid getting kidnapped, and it worked.
Make sure you get the reward from that guy when you see the kids.
All right, so
The only
here's
things you won't see. Oh, yeah, this is a fun.
Oh,
yeah,
I hate
here's
this bridge.
the only time this glitch is used in the entire game. You can freeze time at any point with EA, so long as there's a ladder. Like, as you can tell, these like lighter colored sections are supposed to be falling, but time is frozen because I played the flute and then I got on the ladder. And surprisingly enough, this is the only applicable area, and it's only used for like saving frames. Because in there, that's a pretty laggy map, and when time isn't frozen, it can dip to some pretty low frame
I
rates.
still don't know why that works.
Yeah.
That bridge is really annoying to cross otherwise.
Oh yeah, and 100% you can't freeze it because the fortune doll count gets messed up, and crossing it is not very fun.
Yeah.
Another good track here. This game's music in general is fantastic. Alright, so this is another kind of sequence of events where we lead up to getting the mini Abysmru power that we've been talking about. So talking to this chick triggers something in Zazentown, which is where we fought Benkai. We spent a lot of time in Zazentown. It's kind of the main hub. And we're just gonna go there.
I think she triggers talking about something about the hot springs.
Oh, and the shrinking,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which once we get.
Yeah. The second we get mini Abysmru, we're gonna break the game pretty big.
And it gets really fast paced at that point.
Yeah. The game has been pretty like slow paced right now, but once we get mini Abysmru, we're just gonna blaze through all the dungeons pretty quickly. Of course, we have to actually do that, and this is the mini Abysmru minigame to acquire the power, because every power has you do a minigame. They're all pretty terrible, specifically the Impact Goemon one. If you played this game as a kid, you probably remember it, having to spin around and prevent the dolls from popping the balloons. I certainly remember it as a kid, and I hate it to death. And you have to do it in 100%, so I'm glad I'm not running 100% today.
The minigame certainly leaves an impression.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
So,
true.
as you can tell, this dude is smaller now. We're going to be getting that power soon, and I think he stays small for the rest of the game. Kind of tragic.
Have you mentioned why you jump in as soon as you enter each area?
Oh yeah, so when you enter each area, there's a little... It's similar to the Oedo Castle kind of jumping into the cutscene. There's kind of a slow startup when you enter an area. I'll let it play here, if you can notice it. It's pretty small. You notice right there, you have a different walking animation. He did that walking animation right as we entered, and then immediately went to the running. However, if you like mash jump upon entering a loading zone, then he'll skip that animation and just jump at full speed. And it can save like frames over the run, which, you know, eventually add up.
You'll notice different optimizations that he's doing throughout the run too, where he's jumping at the top of the ladder to get some different speed boosts. And
Yeah.
he's running against the wall to get full speed as he's moving as well. So different optimizations throughout the run.
This is one of the few instances of RNG. Like that, you can't hear those things drop at all. You just have to kind of see them. And if you don't see them...
You can't collect anything when that guy is looking at you.
And the drop parts are random. And again, okay, I'm probably gonna die. Okay, I need to focus now.
You can still get 40.
Well, yeah.
Shut up, Nuglaria. Okay. That was a bit close.
Close one.
That was nice. YOLO. Oh my god, if I didn't get that. So the bomb dropped directly next to the dumpling. If I had stutter stepped once, I would have died there, and that would have lost me like 90 seconds, which would have sucked. So now we can shrink, and while it doesn't seem like while shrunk, you move slowly, and you lose a lot of abilities. So it doesn't sound very useful, right? But thanks to Serpin, or Z-Lamp on Twitch, he found an amazing glitch, and I have no idea how he found it, because the inputs are so stupidly precise. But basically, what you can do, is I'll show it here, is you can clip into things with Mini Abysmru, And that was another instance of the kind of wall pushing you up and thing. And with Mini Abysmaru, you can clip into any wall in the game. So that's obviously kind of useful in a speedrun. So right here, you choose to either go to Gourmet Submarine or Ghost Toys. I'm going to go to Ghost Toys because I prefer to get it out of the way because it's the hardest dungeon. But you can choose to either go to Gourmet or Ghost Toys, and it's literally the exact same frame count. There's no advantage going to either first. And 100% there is, because there's a doll in Ghost Toys you can only get with the Mermaid power-up, which you get by going to Gourmet Submarine. So in 100% you go Gourmet Submarine, Ghost Toys, and it makes a difference. But in any percent, it's whatever you want to do.
So that item that you just got there, what point in the game were you supposed to get that?
Oh, the cucumber? So first off, that's one of the main reasons I need a lot of Rio. It's because that costs 800 Rio. But that cucumber you're supposed to get at the end of the game. After you've beaten every single dungeon, after you unlock Sasuke, gotten all his powers, after you've beaten Gourmet Submarine, you're supposed to go to that guy, get the cucumber, and then talk to a Kappa to get the final miracle item. And yes, I did say Kappa, not a sarcastic gray man, a legitimate Kappa.
Where?
We'll be seeing him later. Sadly, not for long though.
And he skips like a long, boring platforming section with that slide.
It also has like a lot of kind of difficult jumps, especially if you don't have the chain pipe.
Alright, so this is the only room in the game that you need Fire Rio. And after this, that's it. Like
The only reason you need the Fire Rio.
Yep, that is it.
So you can skip into where this is like a crane game. You can skip into the blast, right? But it doesn't actually help you.
Yeah, I'll be showing you guys that later in the glitch showcase.
Another
You might be
long
wondering.
platforming section skip there.
That was the hardest jump in the game, unironically. You don't want to get that fortune doll because it loses you time. Just focus here. All right. So a neat little trick here is you can go into a first person, and I'll have Abysmaru look up at you guys. You can go in the first person, and first third person, whatever it's called. I call it first person just because it's simple. But while in this mode, usually when you collect an item, there's a little dancing animation. And you're like, yeah, you got an item. But if you're in this mode, it won't play the animation, and it'll just skip it outright, and you can unzoom the camera and just resume.
He's so
Look at him, he's adorable.
staring into my soul.
Did you miss the camera?
Did I miss the camera? I missed the camera. Oh my god. That hasn't happened
I'm
in
never
months.
taking you to Dave and Buster's.
That has legitimately not happened in months. Okay, let's look at it this time.
That's embarrassing.
Okay,
There
we
go.
got it this time.
Go back
That
to
was my
creepy
bad.
mode.
Oh, not again.
But hey, the bright side is we get more of this.
That's the bright side?
Okay, there. Now we have the camera. However, we don't actually have the camera yet. I'm hitting the change weapon button, and it's not changing weapons. So if I were to leave the room before this text box is up, which I have the option to do, then I wouldn't have the camera. It would just disappear from the game forever.
Basically freeze your progress forever, because
So
you
if
can't beat the boss and you can't progress in the level.
If you could see the English text, what the camera does is it essentially makes all the ghosts visible.
And here I'm just jumping on these to avoid N64 physics. Because, as I said before, when you jump on a slope, your forward momentum just gets cut in half. So you want to avoid being on these for as long as possible. And I also forgot to mention that I just did 2 slides there. First try. Those are some pretty hard slides that I got.
What you see him doing is not as easy as
not
it takes.
easy.
And even, I've seen your practice, it can take you
It can take a pretty long time. So I never explained how to actually do a slide. And here's a pretty slow part. So as I said before, it's a really precise series of inputs. So to do a slide, you have to jump, make no inputs in the air, you have to land, you have 12 frames to move in one direction for 1 frame, and then upon making that 1 frame input, you have to reset your stick to a neutral position, hit C up, and then move. So like I said, it's like this crazy precise series of inputs that somehow someone found, and it allows us to click through things. And it's really tricky to get down. Like it took me, I think, 40 hours before I got a good slide.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. But that was back when like no one knew how it worked. But yeah, it's just another key room there. We use a camera to make the ghosts visible. Camera's not very useful. It's used for the boss here, and that's it. You can get through there without taking damage, but I'm not doing that because I'm not good, I guess. Okay, so there I got, this is a little speedrunning thing. There I got a little, you have a little, like, coming to a stop animation. And you want to avoid that there because it allows you to switch characters a little bit faster. But I got it, so I couldn't switch characters at an optimal rate. So here, hopefully I get this very important trick. This is planking. Goemon invented planking, if no one knew that. It's pretty cool. Okay, and there the camera 360'd for some reason. And I did this at SGDQ on the bonus stream, and I actually fell down there, which hadn't happened in months. So I guess we got kind of even with me not falling here, but me missing the camera, so it all worked out in the end. But yeah, falling down there is a huge time waster. And yeah, it's pretty straightforward, so donations would be alright for now.
Thank you to Hikage for your $25 donation. Dash! Goemon on a live marathon. We made it. Congrats, Pykn, for getting Goemon here and being a good representation of the Goemon community. Chin Chin Daisuki! Thank you to Umbre for your $25 donation. Once again, speedrunning for an awesome cause. Put this towards the runner's choice. Thank you, everyone, for the work you do. Thank you to Awkward Smile for your $20 donation. Love everything you guys do. Keep hype and game on.
Okay, so I have enough HP to do a risky strat here, but I think I'm gonna just play it safe. But I'll tell you guys about it. So, the risky strategy is that, I don't know if, no one's probably realized this because I haven't gone in it, but the water down there is poison, and it takes damage off of you, you know, like every 3 seconds or something. So the optimal strategy would be to jump in the water here, and hop across to the other side, and then do a hover with Mini Abysmaru. If you jump in the water as Mini Abysmaru, and then transform as you're coming up, you'll hover up, and you'll be able to grab the ledge. However, it's really risky, and really, it saves like maybe 10 seconds. So I'm just gonna play it safe there.
You're really bad at jumping rope.
No, I'm taking this damage on purpose. Usually my HP is supposed to be a lot lower here, but I'm gonna do the Death Warp anyways, just cause it's what I'm supposed to do. So here the floor is, it's like a fake floor on some areas, but I've memorized it, kind of. So, normally I'd have about 2 HP here, and I'd enter the water and like immediately die. But I had a lot of HP, so it took a little long. Sadly, we had to kill Abysmaru. And it just puts us back here, and we still have the key and everything, so we're all set. And it's pretty normal from here. I'll explain a little trick I do in here to minimize damage taken, and because it saves time. So this is the only area in the game with really shallow water. Usually when you jump in and out of water, you kind of dip under the water for a second and come back up, and it restricts you from moving. But since the water there is so shallow, you can actually just hop across and it saves a couple frames. It also minimizes the damage you take from the poison water. I would have liked some Rio there, but whatever. So this is the billiards room. I'm terrible at it. I've very rarely gotten the perfect billiards room, but hopefully it's different today. Nope. Okay, that pink ball needs to go to the right, or else the strategy doesn't work. And here's the #1 place where the camera will just randomly 360. Please. Okay, that wasn't that bad. It can be a lot faster. Usually you just, when I was chucking Rio at the pink ball, you just keep chucking Rio and it like knocks out 3 balls in a row. And then you're left just with the brown and the black. And it's pretty quick from there. Okay, that was the last actual room of the dungeon. Now I'm just gonna get the final key and head to the boss. So yeah, another good time for donations.
Thank you to Kama Royal for your $35 donation. Mystical Ninja Hype.
Here I'm doing another wall run. It just saves a couple frames. It makes you move slightly faster if you run into a wall. You can't just like directly run horizontally into a wall though. You still need some kind of forward movement.
Thank you to Mr. MTH for your $40 donation.
Alright. So I'm gonna switch to Abysmaru here because we need the dungeon item to defeat the dungeon boss. Very similar to, again, Legend of Zelda games. But Abysmaru does exactly one thing in this fight, and that's he takes a picture. But it's a very important picture, because it makes this guy visible. Well, it makes his heart visible. You can obviously see him right now. So he's just gonna hold B, let go, and then we switch to A. And she does the work from here. So I don't think the programmer is intended for you to be able to hit this guy twice during one phase, but you can. And by doing that, you can skip a lot of phases on this guy. And here, there's a random chance that his missile might just fall and not actually explode, and that will cut the phase short, and that is a really tight double hit right there. Like, you need to be immediately hitting him or else you won't get the double hit. And if a rocket falls, like, which is a completely random chance, the timing will be different. Like, he'll immediately go like hollow like this, and you just won't be able to get the double hit in. I'm hoping it happens just so you won't think I'm crazy, but it didn't, of course. And okay, yeah, that's a perfect fight. It's not very difficult to do. So it should be one more phase after this. Or not. I thought he did the stab. Oh well, I guess I'm insane then. Yeah, pretty straightforward boss. And there's a long cutscene here, so donations if you have them.
Oh.
I think these guys' names are Barons, I think.
Yeah, Barons.
This one's Koron.
Yeah, they're the henchmen of
Colon.
what are King Danson and
This is dancing.
yeah, King Danson and Queen. I don't remember her name.
I don't remember her name.
I just
yet.
remember dancing.
Oh no, it's like Magical Danson or something. That's his name. Something
I'll be
like
able
that.
to remember when I see her.
Ha 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 ha.
Thank goodness for that laugh track.
It makes me know when to laugh.
Again, we're gonna take another safety save here, just.
Almost as funny as Seinfeld.
Or the Big Bang Theory.
Bazinga.
Bazinga.
Right. Now we're gonna go to Gourmet Submarine.
Bazinga.
So after I got the cucumber, I could have just worked back to the starting town, and it would have been exactly what I'm about to do now. Like, literally no different. So if I had just finished Ghost Toys, I would warp to Sazzentown, and I would continue the game on from there. But since I haven't finished Gourmet Submarine, I need to go to Gourmet Submarine and finish it, obviously. And this is probably the second biggest implementation. I'd actually say the biggest implementation of map glitch, if mini Bismuth slides in exists as well. So I'm map glitching here, and usually there's a steel block coming up by that gate over there. I don't know if you can see it. I'll take the time to show it to you. So there's usually a block right here, but I'm map glitching, so if I let go map glitch, you can see the block reappears right there. And that allows us to skip Impact Goemon, which saves a lot of time. To get Impact Goemon, I think you need to beat Festival Temple, you need to watch a really good cutscene, and then you need to complete the minigame, all of which takes upwards of like 10 minutes. And wow, that's really great.
If you're playing on the English version, to skip that block, you could do several things, but you could, I think the most common method is to
a
use
slide?
Bisamaru and use the slide to skip past that.
There used to be, like way back when this game was first getting figured out, the glitch called Superman Abysmaru.
Oh yeah, I saw
Oh,
it.
yeah.
I love there's a great clip of it.
It's a fantastic glitch that you will hopefully be seeing later. But with Superman Abysmaru, he gets into the Superman position, and you get like a frame perfect jump on like a slope or something, and you cause him to like hover in the air, and then you hover over that gate, and then you kind of like bring yourself back down. So
There's one,
It's ridiculous.
Annie Meowser's, another person known for playing the game, got stuck in that glitch for like some long amount of time.
yeah, you can be stuck in that glitch for almost infinity.
Yeah.
That was a really nice clip,
Yeah,
by the way.
I was gonna
If you screw
say-
that up, the camera goes crazy.
That
Yeah.
slide is probably the most random slide in the game. So how clipping works is not random. Like when you hit the wall, the game doesn't roll a dice, and if it's like a 6, you go through, and if it's anything else, you don't. But the positioning required is so precise that it might as well be random. Like, I know subpixel is kind of a silly term, but it feels like it is a subpixel precise placement on Abysmaru. So if this were like Ocarina of Time, I'd be a bad player and like buffer it and like have a ridiculous setup that takes 30 minutes to get to. But this is Mystical Ninja Starring Goemon. We just do it.
Good man.
So, another glitch here. I map glitched there. So usually you have weapon upgrades in this game, similar to Legend of Zelda games as well. You have weapon upgrades to just power up your weapons to deal more damage, because as the game progresses, enemies have more HP. And right there, you need level 2 weapons to break that rock that I just respawned on top of me. However, similar to the glitches we've seen before, if you spawn the rock while you're inside of it, the game will just push you up top of the mountain. And that's actually the only trick in the game that I found. I came to this game pretty late, but before this, we did a miserable trick where you transformed into Mini Abysmero, and there's a slope right outside this house that's like ridiculously tall. And you just had to transform into Mini Abysmero and just hop up the slope. And it took sometimes upwards of like 2 to 3 minutes. It's just the most ridiculous trick. And I'm so glad I found that little map glitch trick, because it's faster.
I like that guy that's talking there, the mystery character.
Yeah, now we get in contact with the old man whose house blew up, but we didn't see that because we skipped that cutscene. So a funny little translation note: in the English version of the game, the old man was distracted by reading car magazines. However, in the Japanese version, he was distracted by reading hentai magazines. So that's a pretty cool translation. So I guess on the localization, they're like, yeah, we can't just say they're porno mags because this is an e-game, so, you know, I don't think that would be appropriate. Yeah. He's not that much of a car enthusiast, considering this is like feudal Japan.
All those cars they had back then, you know?
Also, isn't the old man supposed to be dead in the scene, but like he's not actually dead?
Yeah, you find him later on just in a noodle shop. He's
Yeah,
just chilling
this
there.
is just like
And you're like, what the hell?
300 Rio, but it's still required no matter what.
But yeah, that's where we needed the 1100 Rio, the 800 for the cucumber, and then the 300 for the flute, or the fortune telling.
Now, would the level 2 of weapons have helped with the ghost castle
fight?
at all? Yeah.
No, I don't believe so. I think enemies always take a static amount of damage, except for Tsurami, who's the only enemy in the game that takes more damage from using special items, which is how you get the quick kill on him. But we're not going to be saying that because it can self-lock the game.
Gotcha.
And I'll talk more about that when we get there in about 30 minutes. But now we're going to get the mermaid power-up, which allows us to get to Gourmet Submarine because it's a submarine, so it's underwater in the Sea of Japan. And I forgot the map glitch here. This is another place where map glitching saves a little bit of frames. You can despawn every single thing in here, even the waterfall, and it's just completely silent. Pretty cool. And this is another minigame that most people might remember from their childhood, because most people might have probably played the English version. And on the English version, I'm not 100% sure how this minigame works, but I know in the Japanese version, it's not very difficult. So the extent of this minigame is hold left until you hit this edge, and then hit A. So things are going to be falling down, and they will never fall on the left. It's just how it is.
It's great.
I don't think on the English version it's quite like that. I think it's random on the English version.
It's random.
So yeah, that's not very fun to handle. Because that can be a frustrating minigame. It's not the worst in the world, it's not Impact Goemon, but it's still kind of a frustrating minigame. But now we have Mermaid Yay, and we're gonna go to Gourmet Submarine. Donations would be fun for now. If you have any, of course.
Thank you to Peepo for your $10 donation. And thank you to Kevin9 for your $20 donation. Thank you to Hands of Blue for your $50 donation.
Kind of an interesting thing about the terrain here, it's actually not completely even. You can actually get stuck in the seams on it, like the seams on the textures, and it can get pretty silly. You can have some really interesting movement there. Same thing with the steps. The geometry in this game is from another universe. It's something to behold. And we'll be seeing maybe an example of that in the Gourmet Submarine when we go on top of a dumpling, which just does not want to agree to the laws of physics or geometry. But yeah, we're gonna transform in the Mermaid and go under the Sea of Japan. So you have two forms of movement with her. You have the dash, and you can mash A to kind of like swim along. Obviously the dash is faster, so we just use that. And I'm gonna get this HP for safety's sake, even though you don't take much damage in Gourmet Submarine. And I missed it, great. Went a little early there. So you can actually get underwater with other characters here. However, the game doesn't know what to do when you are underwater with other characters, so you just kind of hover underwater. You can map glitch upon entering the loading zone and then just run to the bottom of the lake and then respawn the water, and the game will just freeze you there because it doesn't know what to do. Yeah, we're just heading over to the Gourmet Submarine, which is hidden in the corner back here. This is probably the most obscure dungeon. Like, most people don't remember it, which is a shame because it's probably the most well-made dungeon. Like, it's got the whole, it's called the Gourmet Submarine, so it's got the whole food shtick going on. Like, we're gonna be going inside of udon bowls and on top of dumplings and all that cool stuff. It's also got fantastic music.
Yeah. Probably has some of my favorite music in the game.
These things are random. I just got unlucky there. So there's a slide you can do here. However, if you mess it up, like by going slightly too far out of bounds, you will clip out of the dungeon entirely, and you'll be just stuck in water, and it will be soft locked. So I'm gonna do the safer strat up here, which is a more frustrating slide because the frame rate is really dicey here. So the inputs are a lot more tricky. And I got a good slide there, but I didn't clip because my positioning was slightly off. And this is what the game sometimes boils down to, is just praying you clip through. And it can get really frustrating in attempts. That's like 5 good slides now, and still no clip. Okay, there we go. So normally you would skip that with the slide that you do at the bottom of the elevator, but just to be safe, we're not going to do that. And here's that hover glitch I was talking about before, if I can get it. If I what's going on? Oh, I'm moving, okay. Okay. Well, I got it, but it didn't let me hover up. So if you transform while coming up out of your little dip, you'll hover up, and that allows you to get up here.
Where?
This is another use of Fire Rio that I forgot. It kills these guys really fast. Alright, this is that dumpling I was talking about, or rice cake, I don't know. I'm not very good with Japanese cuisine. But thankfully it was pretty compliant there. The geometry on that thing is completely backwards. Alright, and hopefully I get this cool trick. No, of course not. Usually you can run on the chopsticks there to skip this, having to go in this room. But I mess it up, and you can't really, it's not worth reattempting. I don't even think you can reattempt it. Yeah, I think you fall and there's no ladder back up to the platform you were just on. Whoops.
The floor is lava.
The floor is literal lava.
It's faster to damage boost through that room.
Yep. Alright, we're gonna get some more Rio, and hopefully I get this chopstick run. Because this is the important one. So I'm gonna focus here, get my setup. So this looks pretty simple, right? Like, I'm just holding forward. But the hitbox on those chopsticks are deceptively small. Like, the model looked pretty big. It looked like, you know, half a Goemon size, but the hitbox on those things are ridiculous.
It's easy to fall.
Yeah, and the camera's shifting during that, and you go in and out of these holes that, you know, shift your positioning. It's just, it's much harder than it looks. But yeah, that's Gourmet Submarine. It's the second shortest dungeon in the game.
Yeah, that's it.
Festival Temple is the shortest. That's about a 3-minute dungeon. But now we get another glorious cutscene.
Oh.
And here's the first showing of Impact. So we're not going to sing the first time through. We're going to let you experience it and see what's coming up. We'll sing it on the last one, though. Normally there are 3 Impact fights. We skipped 1, though, so we're only going to be experiencing 2. And this is the Queen to the King. Yeah, really nice music.
Every Impact fight has 2 stages. There's the getting to the boss stage, and then there's the actual fighting of the boss. You'll see that shortly.
Yeah, the getting to the boss stage is kind of an auto-scroller, and it's not really important until the last boss, where I need a certain amount of Rio. But for this boss, it's completely irrelevant. All I want to do is just avoid falling down, which I probably will do, because I've been prone to do that.
So is this where the incentive comes in?
Yeah, we're gonna let this one play through, and then we're gonna sing the next one.
Okay.
So we skipped the cutscene where we actually get impact. Oh right, I'm playing on a save file. I forgot. In a speedrun, you usually play on a no memory pack option. I have a memory pack, just because it's useful for practicing. But if you play on the no memory pack option, it skips that little dialogue box. Then it skips a multiple of those. So this is impact, and I'm just gonna let it speak for itself. I'm not gonna say anything here. Trying to resist singing along. I really do enjoy singing along to this song. Hey.
Take down. Impacto.
I love that song so much. It's the greatest part of the game.
This is where your chat would be full of impactos.
So you can do a couple of neat things while playing Impact. You can swing your giant chain pipe. Oh, by the way, an often overlooked fact is that we're massacring millions of people right now. We're just destroying their homes. Yeah, Impact fuels off of the massacring of thousands of innocent
The miles per
Japanese
gallon on
civilians.
impact is pretty low, so you need a lot of fuel.
But yeah, you can do a couple of neat things with Impact. In this stage, you can spin his head, which is completely pointless. You can do it left, you can do it right. You can shoot Rio, and you can swing your pipe, and you can jump. And that's about it. Pretty basic section.
So in the Japanese version, is he performing in America still? Because I know in being the North American version, he's like going to perform in America and stuff.
Yeah, I know in the Japanese version, I'm not sure what he does. I know in the American version, I think he goes to America, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, America and Paris or something. Alright, but anyways, this is an Impact fight. If you're not familiar with Goemon series, in every single game I think they have these kind of things. It's like a first-person robot fighting game. And it's pretty cool. Sadly, it's pretty
You
basic.
can cheese this pretty hard.
Yeah, it's pretty basic, if I can get it, which is pretty hard. So hopefully get the fast grab. I didn't get the fast grab there, which is fine. But I want to pull this guy so I can see his health. It'll make the, Okay, well that's not good. Yeah. So normally I use the health to do a setup there, so I can make it easier to combo him. Because the frames you have to actually combo that move that I just did on this guy are extremely low. He's the hardest to combo by far, so 1400. And that's pretty much how you do the fights optimally.
Wombo done.
So once you get him below 1200, he brings you under C. This is like the only two-phase fight in the entire game. And hopefully we're just gonna infinite punch him to death, so 1980. Or 980. Okay, 770. See, like I said, the frames on him are really tight. Not so much on the last boss, Detrolet, I think his name is. He has a lot of open frames for you to hit him. That's not good. My laser does 400 damage. I can't leave him at 10 HP. Because he
It's
might
actually a pretty intricate combo system.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of hidden moves with Impact. Like, they don't tell you how to do this. You have to figure it
All
out
you need
yourself.
to do is...
So I'm gonna do the laser, okay. They don't tell you how to do that either. There's also a move where you smack them with your chain pipe. They don't tell you how to do that. They basically tell you B, A, and then that's really it. And C to fire Rio. But yeah, that was a pretty bad fight. A perfect Taisamba is you hook him and then you do nothing but infinite punch him until he goes into the second phase. And then in the second phase, when he rams you, you just infinite him till he's dead.
That is the face of death.
And upon
I am
seeing
Shiva,
the death
god of death.
Upon seeing the death of Taisamba, you can see Impact is very, very happy.
That's Sparkle at the end.
So I'm gonna map glitch here to skip this cutscene. Hopefully we won't be seeing it ever. If I let go of map glitch right now, it'll play the cutscene despite being in the flute, so I have to wait until it's in the map screen. And where am I going? Zawsum Town? Yeah, okay. I always do that, don't worry. That's normal for me. But we skip that. There's a little dialogue after every single impact fight, like, oh, why'd you guys call me? I'm so busy. I'm like on an acting tour. And he usually just whines at you and tells you about how successful he is. And he just goes off to wherever he's working at currently.
The sequel to this game, he's actually very successful.
Yeah, he has a wife.
Yeah, but people don't know there's actually a bunch of games in this series.
This is a huge series. Not so much in America. There's only like a couple of SNES games and 2 N64 games that were ported over.
There's also a DS game, I think.
But in Japan, this is a humongous series. So I need to talk to Benkai here to trigger the Kappa. I know it's against the rules to encourage face spam, but I'm not encouraging it. I'm just saying there's a Kappa coming up. Do with that what you will.
Oh, there goes chat.
If by what you will you mean punch you, then maybe.
You could have just said it was anything. No one's gonna be able to read this crap.
No, you can if
You
you're
could have said it was Shrek and they may have believed you.
if you're familiar with
It's
with
green.
Japanese lore,
He's more of an imp.
it is quite clearly a Kappa.
He's more of an imp in this.
That's
He's
totally
more of an
Kappa.
imp in this game, so he's like Final Fantasy's Kappa, if that helps.
Aren't Kappas supposed to eat
Cucumbers.
Cucumber.
I'm pretty sure there's been some iterations of Kappas where they eat little boys' cucumbers, if you know what I'm saying.
Japanese mythology is very diverse. But yeah, he just gave us the final miracle item, so we only need one more, and this is the one we're going to get. So I'm gonna map glitch here to despawn everything. This is just a minor time saver, where I do the hover glitch again. There's usually water right here. Okay, cool. I got a falling animation for some reason. Again, it's random.
So he's just like walking on water.
No, I'm in the water right now, but I'm trying to do the hover glitch, which is very finicky, especially in really deep water. But yeah, that was it. So at home, when I used to do runs of this like really frequently, I always tried to play along with this. But I play off Amarek. For those who aren't familiar, there's a program called Amarek, which helps you capture the game footage and then transfer it to a streaming program. And you can use it to play off of, but it has like a 0.5, it has a minor delay to it. So right now I'm playing on a CRT, which I'm not familiar with that at all, because I play off my monitor on Amarek. And usually when playing along with the music, you have like a 1/10 of a second of delay, so your rhythm is thrown completely off. But on a CRT, it's actually really simple to play along with this. Again, on Amarek, that is extremely difficult.
It's the important stuff that matters.
Yeah, it's extremely important to the speedrun.
Yeah.
Extremely important.
Yeah, the best players play through Amarek. It's a confirmed fact.
The music in this game makes me very happy.
Alright, so for those who are familiar with the Goemon series, you might be like, where's Sasuke, dude? Like, Sasuke is one of the best characters in the game. My favorite character is Sasuke. Well, we have Sasuke. He's dead right now because he's a robot and he doesn't have any batteries, because that's how robots work. And the only use for him in the entire game, well, technically he has two, but is to break a wall coming up. But we have this thing called map glitch that despawns walls.
So now his only
break
power
walls.
is to just progress the story.
Yep.
He's in our cutscenes.
Yes, he
And
talks
in
in the
our hearts.
cutscenes despite being dead.
An interesting thing about this this area is that even though he's using map glitch, the collision for some stalagmites are still
It still
present.
exists,
It's
yeah.
very unusual.
So there's usually a wall here, and we're gonna see it once I respawn it. It's just gonna push us right into the loading zone. And this probably has my most favorite music in the whole game. This is Festival Temple Castle.
Don't
And
get crushed.
I tried to spook you guys, but the timing was off.
And again, if you're playing on English version, if you don't have map glitch, you always have mini slide.
Yep, yeah, the other way to get in there is to just do a slide. So you don't need Sasuke at all in any percent.
Huh.
Okay.
Yeah. What? Oh. Wow.
Here's one of the few places of like a guaranteed falling animation.
His sound effects are the
Okay,
best.
but I didn't get it. Usually right there you get a falling animation. And here I need to wait for these spike balls. And again, this is the shortest dungeon in the game. Like, I'm already halfway through it. Which is kind of silly. And it's a shame. This is a really complicated dungeon. And 100%, this dungeon is legit. It's a very difficult dungeon.
Yeah, there's also a weapon called, I think, the meat hammer.
The meat saw hammer, yeah.
Yeah, it's given to Abisu, and I think it turns things that come
Into
out of
HP.
enemies into food.
Yeah. You also get the ice kunai for, I almost said Sakurai, Sasuke. He ain't in this game. And hopefully coming up here, this is a speed-dependent room. I can get a quick cycle on the fish here, which makes no sense, but it will in a second. If I get a quick slide, which I'm not good at. Yeah, I already missed it, which is not a huge deal. It saves maybe like 10 seconds. So the fish that's coming up right now would be the fast cycle. As you can see, the second fish right there is coming down. You would usually transfer onto the platform, then onto that fish. But I was slightly slow, so I didn't get it. Instead, we get to enjoy more of this music, which is fantastic.
Do a cannonball.
So, yeah, every character in this game has a crawling animation. The animations in this game are excellent. There's like multiple ridiculously pointless animations. Like, how many like on the edge animations are there, Yashi?
I think there's like 3, depending
Yeah.
on which way you're facing. Like if you're hanging off of it sideways, it kind of just leans to the side, and if you're forward, it leans forward, and if you're back, it leans back.
It's kind of silly. And that's for every single character, and they're all different. It's not just like swapping the animation files onto a different skeleton. They're like varied animations. So this is my least favorite boss fight in the game. Absolutely hate Surami. That's the name of this guy.
It's a ghost and a robot.
It's a ghost bot.
And a
Ghost
chef.
bot. And a chef.
Yeah.
Does it all.
So normally you fight this guy by hitting plates back at him, kind of like Shadow Ganon in the Force Temple. Except you don't like parry with him. You don't like have a volley. But instead of doing that, we're just gonna go ahead and join him up on his platform there if I can do it. This is one of the harder slides in the game, mostly because you cannot really see yourself, and you can't really position yourself accurately. And he's also throwing stuff at you the whole time. So this might take me a little while to get. This is not an easy slide to do.
Hey, it's incredibly difficult.
Okay, there we go. So now we're up here with him, and we can just smack him in the face until the end of the fight.
And yeah, this is probably the most off-heard sound effect in speedrunning this game is what you're hearing.
Wait.
Yeah. Wait, where? Where?
So there's kind of an RNG factor to Surami. You'll notice he's kind of hovering, and sometimes he will initiate his like attacks when he's out of range of you. You just straight up can't hit him, so you're gonna take a hit. Like dying on this fight used to be a real risk until I got good at the game. No, not really. It's like, no, I'm still fine. So this is one of the reasons why I hate Surami. It's because in that phase, if you don't hit him immediately, you're gonna take like 2 hearts of damage. Kind of silly. He's in the last phase though, so it's fine. Now he just spins around and throws random plates everywhere. So earlier I was talking about how you can soft lock the game doing a quick hold. So on Surami, for some reason, I don't know why, if you use Rio fireballs on him, it does like quadruple damage. So you can hit him once, then do like 3 Rio fireballs, I think, and that'll kill him ridiculously quickly. However, if you hit him one extra time, just once, it'll push his HP into a negative value, and the game won't know what to do. So he'll just sit there, kind of like, well, I have negative HP. I'm dead, but not really, so I'm just gonna sit here until you reset the console. So it's pretty cool. And yeah, that's the last miracle item, so we're headed up into space now to
Was it a
face
star
off.
from Star Road?
I have no idea. Another good time for donations if you have any.
Yep, got a bunch. Thank you to Impending Disaster for your $100 donation. I was disturbed by the silence when Pykn said it was okay to read donations. Golden coins goes to Runner's Choice. Thank you to David Spence for your $35 donation, Stir Dog for your $36 donation, and Tomo for your $50 donation, as well as Jimmy Meenan for your $10 donation. Amazing event as always. And new groundsman for your $15 donation. Just a quick hi and good luck for all the runners.
So yeah, I never said this, but I actually did the dungeons out of order. You're not supposed to do... What did I do? Ghost Toys Gourmet Submarine Festival? You're supposed to do Owedo Castle, Ghost Toys, Festival Temple, then Gourmet Submarine. But due to map glitch and Mini Abysmir, we can do the dungeons in the more optimal order. So again, I'm gonna save here just for safety. Yeah, coming up is a really good dungeon. One of the more technical dungeons. There's a lot of neat little tricks in it. But first we gotta get there. So I skipped that impact cutscene earlier, and hopefully I'm gonna skip it again because it's still there. If I go into the area where that cutscene was, it's still gonna be loaded, and it's still gonna play through as normal. It's not gonna affect the game at all. It's just gonna play the cutscene, which will obviously lose us time. So I'm gonna map glitch upon entering that area, and I'm gonna let go of map glitch hopefully when I'm in the door, so that I immediately hit the next loading zone and I don't have to worry about triggering the cutscene. But we'll see how that goes. Alright, so I'm gonna start map glitching here. A map glitch in this area is just to save frames. The snow particles are really intense, apparently, for the N64. Usually there's snow and trees and ghosts everywhere, but, you know, map glitch. So coming up is that zone with the cutscene. Hopefully I skip it. Alright, so I'm despawning everything, including the cutscene right now. What I hope to do is to respawn while I'm inside of the door over here. And it's kind of precise. Not really, it's not that hard, but I haven't been that good at it, and I got it. So it just skips a cutscene entirely, and I'll never see that again. And it saves like 20 seconds maybe. It's pretty cool.
I'll have to talk to Impact.
Yep. Now that we have all the miracle items, we go up into space. Yeah, Abysmir's slow walking animation is great.
It's like he's swimming through air.
His running animation looks like he's gonna fall over.
Yeah.
He's the best character, hands down.
Abysmir is really great. So we're gonna rocket up into space on this ancient Japanese technology. And this begins the final two dungeons.
The music in this dungeon is incredible.
The music in both these dungeons are really good. If you hold straight there, you just don't get hit. It's pretty cool. And we get a nice health refill here from a golden dumpling. And this is the most stressful room in the whole area because you can lose a lot of time if you fall. So I'm gonna focus for a little bit. You don't want that to happen. You should be able to skip that animation if you're good, like that. That is another area where you kind of need Sasuke if you're playing intentionally. But we have Abysmir who can do it all. This is the most stressful part. The camera might 360 on me. Yep, there it goes. Okay, please. And okay, that's a really stressful area because if you fall down, you lose a lot of time. And these fans aren't so bad. The next set of fans are atrocious. And I'll explain why in a little bit after I get this. Just pop up and grab that key. That's slightly faster than going across the fans, especially if you get the slide first try. We're gonna do another, well, no we're not. We were gonna do another ledge boost, but whatever. Abysmir decided against it. Yeah, that's one of the more stressful areas down. Now we're just gonna proceed through the dungeon and do some more slides. So this is another area where you actually need impact Goemon. I don't know if you can see that block up there, but you need to push that so you can use a chain pipe. But we don't need to do that. We have Mini Abysmir. Okay, for some reason this clip has been giving me a lot of trouble lately. It's usually first try. But for some reason it's just been giving me a lot of issues. So this might take a couple. You're supposed to just clip right into that, and it's all hunky-dory, but, you know, Abysmir slides are pretty finicky.
Impacto!
Like, this is why I kind of hate high-level running of this game. It's because eventually the game just boils down to this. is just hoping you clip. Like, there's not much I can do about it. I can adjust my positioning, but again, it's so precise that I just gotta, it's just a shot in the dark, pretty much. Like there,
There we
finally.
go.
This room, I hate this room so much. I fell through that fan for absolutely no reason. It's completely random whether that happens. So I'm gonna try and take this slow. But if I fall through a fan, that's it, okay. You can one-cycle that room really easily if you don't get unlucky and fall through a fan. But I oftentimes fall through the fans. And that's not intentional, it's not like a mechanic that we're skipping out on. It's like completely just bad, like clipping on the fans. And here we're gonna jump out of bounds. I'm gonna take this a little slow so that I ensure that I get it.
You what, mate?
Like this.
You gotta get to this little special spot so that you jump and boost yourself up. And that skips a lot of the dungeon.
If you mess that up, you fall and you waste like 30 whole seconds.
It takes a lot of
You
time.
fall forever.
You either fall,
Yeah, it's a long fall.
you either void out or you fall back into the area. So that's a pretty precise trick. Here we're just gonna do another boost. Just hop
So-
up.
The room before that was like the only room, one of the few rooms in the run you actually used Mini Ibisu for like its intended
Yeah,
purpose.
We're just clipping through everything. So
No, the intended purpose is to go through walls.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So normally you'd be like, wait, why aren't you clipping through this wall? Well, we can kind of just walk through it. That was supposed to be a really like well-delivered thing because I'm supposed to get that like that, but oh well. No sound animation. This is my personal favorite track.
So you're normally supposed to get weapon upgrades here, the level 3 weapon upgrades.
Yeah, the
and
old
meet
man.
Old man, but nah.
Yeah, we don't need them. We have Mini Invismer.
We'll just listen to awesome music instead.
And that was the last slide, by the way, in the entire game, so I don't have
This
to
is
do
a sweet
anymore.
guitar solo.
It's some serious 90s N64 rock. So hopefully I don't get hit by rows. The roses are really annoying. They like tick for damage and they don't go away until you either transform or leave the area. And I only got hit once there, which is fine. Hopefully I get the one cycle here. Cool. So usually you have a falling animation there that allows you to, that prevents you from skipping that first little gap here. However, I didn't get it, so, okay, but I did get the slide. Again, the collision in this game is kind of weird. And that's pretty much the rest of the platforming. All that's left are impact
and
fights.
awesome music.
And yeah, coming up is a fantastic cutscene. That if you haven't seen this, I highly suggest you pay attention right now, because this cutscene is fantastic. So remember how we said that these guys are like musicians and they want to turn Japan into like a Broadway musical? Well, we finally infiltrated their base and like, you know what, let's show these guys what we're made of. Like, let's show them that we are serious about this. And this is what they give you.
Serious time, I guess.
It's serious, serious time. All the barons join in dancing. Beautiful. I thought the game soft locked for a second there. I was really scared for a second there. It hung on that for a little longer than I thought it would. But we're good, we're good. The only thing that could go wrong at this point is I mess up Balbera, which hasn't happened in a long time.
So this is the last impact.
Yes, this is where we sing, so here we go.
So
If you don't know the words, just go for it.
yeah, if you don't know the words, just hum the melody.
Just do your best. There are
best.
lyrics on the screen. I mean,
Yeah.
yes,
If you can read
Follow the
Japanese, go
lyrics.
for it.
don't be lazy.
No, please. Break down! 悪い奴らをぶち壊せ必殺限界パワーで百裂パンチ俺はゴージャスインパクトダッシュダッシュ And there we go. Alright, so now I actually need to pay attention because I need 400 Rio here.
Chat just exploded, by the way.
request for the head sprints during the.
Yeah, it's hard. I'm trying to get as many in as I can. This is a really kind of difficult section. Okay, I almost forgot about that. I'm trying to get as many white boxes on the floor as I can because that gives me Rio.
Yeah.
And I need 400 Rio to be comfortable. Alright, 400, that's more than enough. Wait. Yes, I got the laugh track. There's a laugh track on that. If you spin his head and it plays long enough, there's a laugh track. Alright, this is Balbera. It's pretty much dependent on how well I can match Z. So I'm going to be double tapping Z like this with my 2 fingers. And hopefully Rio will be coming out pretty fast. The optimal fight is the 2 cycle, which is pretty hard to get, but hopefully I do. So I'm going to focus here, because this is a pretty tricky boss.
It still wasn't translated. The name of the game is called the Cherry Blossom Game, so that's why that's what they're firing at.
So I need to kill these peaches so that he
Looks like
opens
a
up
giant
again?
peach to me.
Yeah, that's probably what it actually is.
Please. Alright, now I need to focus. Alright, 2 cycles. Alright, that was an optimal fight. Like,
Yeah.
it could have been slightly faster with better mashing, but that is the fastest you can kill him in terms of cycles. Alright, now for the easiest boss in the game, sadly. He's got a great intro and great music, but he's not that hard. Of course, now that I say that. Alright.
I'll probably get ready to time soon.
Oh my god, are you serious? I was off slightly with my punch. The hitboxes on the punches are a little weird, but 1770, 1560, 1350,
No wombo combo.
1140.
The timing
God,
for this infinite combo is more
930.
lenient than the previous fight.
7, I don't know.
Oh,
I dropped it.
combo break.
I didn't do the math right. You can do the math to determine, like using the HP, you can use the math, the damage of the infinite punch combo to predict when to use the next, like to buffer the inputs basically. So I think I can do. All right, this is gonna have to be insane.
ready
All right,
to
yeah.
time.
Now I boot him, and time is Now. 127. All right, cool.
40.
Nice.
Nice.
The world record for that run, the world record for this game is extremely optimized. The world record for it is like a 120, I think. My PB is like a 122.43. So, you know, that was a pretty good run for a marathon, and I'm pretty proud of that. So, I'm gonna let the cutscene play to a certain point, and I'm gonna do the glitch showcase. Goemon da! Impacto! And then Team Rocket's blasting off again. We're on the reset.
What's this?
Alright. There's more to the cutscene, but we don't have enough time to watch all of it, sadly. I recommend watching it, though, because it's a very, very good cutscene.
It's a very
so,
comedic ending.
The credits are very funny.
Yeah. So I have some files here. The donation incentive for the glitch showcase got met, which is really cool. So back in Ghost Toys, you might have been wondering why, if I can clip through walls, why don't I just clip into the camera room and grab the camera? And I'm about to show you why. That's a pretty bad idea. So first I gotta get there. I probably should have put the save right in front of the Ghost Toys, but whatever. More Goemon ain't a bad thing. But basically, there's a very specific reason why we don't just clip in and grab the camera. It's there, you can collect it. The animation plays, but there's a hitch to it, and you'll see that in a second. And after this, hopefully we get to see my personal favorite glitch. First we gotta get to Ghost Toys though. That guy was on beat. Good for him. Yeah, I think that's only the
Like
two only
2
areas.
points in the game.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
Watch me be an idiot and have forgotten something. Okay, good. We didn't forget Fire Reel. Alright, so, might have been wondering why I didn't just clip into the room and grab the camera. There's a very, very good reason for that. And you'll see that right now.
This is pretty funny.
Yeah, so, first I gotta get in there. Okay, so, there's a very specific reason why we can't just pick that camera up right now. Again, as I said, once we pick it up, it'll disappear, the animation will play, but he just keeps dancing. Forever and ever. This will never end. It is a soft
He just
lock.
has to dance. Let the man dance.
He loves dancing. So again, we could leave this running for the whole SGDQ marathon, and he would never stop dancing. Sadly, we cannot do that. So coming up is my personal favorite glitch. Hopefully I get it. It's not guaranteed because it's kind of tricky and precise, but I will do my best to get it. So I don't know why I did that, but if you slide onto a slope, you get very interesting results. And we will hopefully be seeing that. Okay, so is this? Yes, it is. All right. So I'm just going to go back to the mountain where we talked to the witch. And we are going to hopefully get a pretty entertaining glitch. I know we're going to at least get one part of it, but I don't know if we're going to get the part that is really the cool one. But again, I'll try my best. So first we got to head back to the slope. And while this is kind of a silly glitch that's, you know, oh, it'll like soft lock the game and it's silly, it actually has a legitimate use in a run. It's actually the fastest method of getting up the mountain, but it's ridiculously difficult to do, that no one really does it. Alright, so we're going to be Abysmo, and we're going to slide onto a slope and get interesting results. So again, I hope I get the two-parter to this. Okay, yes. So I got Superman Invisible. This is my favorite glitch ever. He'll just fly around like this until I hit a slope again and slide back onto the ground.
So is this a Superman glitch?
Yes, this used to be the way to skip.
I've seen people stuck on this.
Yeah. This used to be the way to skip past the impact Goemon block, like way back when the game was first being developed. But if I hit, okay, I don't want to do that. Okay, we're getting higher and higher. I want to hit the ground. Okay, so now you'll notice I still have the tiny walking sound animation, or the tiny walking sound, and I'm moving really slowly. So if I jump, we're gonna have something interesting happen. And that's Mystical Ninja Starring Goemon. I'll just fly infinitely until the skybox. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, I'll see you guys around. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it.
That was quite a run from Pykn there. We will see you guys in 60 seconds after this quick commercial break. Donation total? They would know better than me. Do you have the default tracker? Oh, it has it on the top. That doesn't seem right. We're above 60. That might just be the amount that's been. That's not right. We're a little over 65K.